I really believe that we have rigorous academics that will be able to prepare every student for going out and serving in the legal community in whatever capacity they choose.
You can really tell that they are just committed to quality academics. The teachers, the way they run the courses, they tend to ask a lot of the students, whether it's voluminous reading or if it's work. They're not just letting you get by doing the bare minimum. They're encouraging you at the same time to get involved in activities and things like that. So they're really trying to make sure that the overall experience is really a quality one.
In particular, our faculty are personal, they are very accessible, and so they really want our students to succeed. So not only do we have the rigor in the classroom, we also have the faculty that support them so that they can be successful in their legal career.
Gonzaga goes out of its way to find professors that not only have the academic background, but also has the experiential background. When they're speaking academics, when they're teaching a civil procedure, for instance, our professor can also bring in examples from when they were in the courtroom, when they had a case.
Law students really benefit if their teachers have their hands at some point in their career meaningfully on practical experience themselves so that they can relate the materials to something that's human, real, outside of the classroom. What we learn in the classroom, even the most theoretical of topics related to the law, still in the end relate to a very human experience for somebody who's in a courtroom, in an office room, somewhere in need of legal services that these students ultimately will provide when they become attorneys. And the more teachers are able to take the doctrinal and theoretical work of law school and connect it to something practical, the better for the students.
One of the things I think that Gonzaga does particularly well is provide clinical learning opportunities for students in our law clinic.
The law clinic is a law firm of last resorts. The clients there are mostly low income with significant legal problems. You end up becoming their advocate, and you do legal research and you argue for them in court.
They are defending real people here at the law clinic. We serve about 600 people a year. We focus on areas of tax, elder, and family law. So if a family is having some problems or if there's an issue, they're really delving in there and handling that problem on their own. Of course, they have a supervising attorney, but they're learning those skills and abilities that they'll need when they graduate.
It gets them into the courtroom, it gets them into professional roles where they're dealing with clients, they're doing research, they're arguing cases, and they're handling cases from the lowest court to the highest court in the land, including the United States Supreme Court, which is a case that we had several years ago. And students, we like to think, based on that experience in our clinic, are able to graduate and hit the ground running when they get out of law school.
After the first year of law school, to have literally my own clientele this summer is going to be kind of experience I just couldn't get anywhere else. If I worked for a big firm or even a nonprofit, there's just not much of an opportunity to get that kind of interaction right off the bat.
We want them, regardless of whether they're going to be in private practice, whether they're working with courts, whether they're working for government agencies, to be sensitive to the importance of doing public interest work, of doing pro bono work, and taking care of the needs of those people in our society that are less fortunate than us. And we think people who come out of our clinical program at Gonzaga are able to both be good and competent lawyers, but also lawyers who care about those values.
Legal research and writing is kind of one of those things, along with the clinic, that sets Gonzaga apart, and that it's a 4-semester program here. And I mean, thus far, the kind of experience that we've all picked up has just been immense. I mean, right off the bat, you're immediately pulling research off the shelves. You're running computer searches, going through just mountains of cases and putting together your own thoughts and actual memos that would be presentable. The teachers don't cut you a lot of slack in that you're not just writing a paper on what I read and here you go. It's literally something that needs to meet the standards of me handing it to municipal court or district court or anywhere else.
It is 2 years, and 2 years is a little bit longer than most schools. And I think the 2-year program itself is just great. I know I can really tell a difference in my writing from the time that I started the program to where I am right now, and I think my supervisors at work would probably agree too, that the quality of my writing has definitely increased, and I think that is definitely a result of the fact that it's 2 years and it's rigorous. But that's great because everything you do as a lawyer revolves around writing, so the more practice you can get, the better.
Writing is one of the key modes of communication for attorneys. So law students who enter the legal profession with strong writing skills, research and writing skills, really have an edge over a lot of the other members of the profession, with whom and against whom they will be working. And I think the 2-year writing program at Gonzaga really provides an excellent foundation. It's not just the traditional 2-semester, 1-year program. It continues into the 2nd year, so students can spend more time over the course of 4 semesters, really refining not just the techniques of legal research and constructing different pieces of legal documents, but really refining their skill of communicating in written form.
It is pretty intense, but I have noticed that in all of my job interviews, the people who are interviewing me for positions have not only been impressed by that, but have asked about that. So I think that that's really going to be helpful in the long run.
It's going to be a heck of a thing to walk out of here with already knowing literally the kind of quality that you're expected to turn in before you even get done with school.
Students are not going to come here and find the material or the delivery of material completely familiar, regardless of whatever their educational disciplines may have been coming into law school.
You, quite honestly, are going back to that old adage of you're teaching yourself the law. The professors are there to provide application. And coming out of any kind of undergraduate experience or advanced job training, you're kind of expecting to just literally be presented with the information, memorize the information, rewrite the information back down, whereas our experience here is quite different. You're kind of giving application and expected to quite literally learn the letter of the law while you're here.
It will seem challenging and foreign in some ways that will be difficult and frustrating, and I think students do best when they come in open and receptive to learning a different way of learning.